Hi, welcome to my second video and Happy New Year. Why am I laughing? I don't know. I cannot believe, Hori, this is the second video that I'm making, and it's a year later. It's actually more than a year later. Yo, sorry guys, I keep looking outside because there's kids playing there. And then now on the other hand, kiduti mofati because I need the best lighting for this. I need to be as comfortable as possible for this. But the other day I was actually thinking, I was even thinking about it today. I'm like, my daughter is almost 3 years old. She is 2 years, 9 months. She's turning 3 in October. And I'm in disbelief. Like each and every single time when I think about the way that things happened, how how I found out about my pregnancy, the birth, the pregnancy experience on its own. I'm like, oh my God. Like mudimu go moholo, guys. So I'm like, no, I actually need to do a story time about my experience. I need to do a story time. Yeah, so first of all, those that do not know, I am a mom to a 2 year, 9 month old, as I already mentioned. She is an amazing beam of light in my life. She is the most amazing girl, and her name is Amani. Oh my Amani. She's my angel, y'all. Like I love her so much. If it's your first time here, welcome. If it's your second time, hey bestie, it's good to see you. Oh my God, don't let me stop it. Okay, so the first time I found out, so I was pregnant in 2023, right? And the day that I found out about my pregnancy, I had gone to the doctor to do a pap smear. Ne? I don't know. I wasn't suspecting pregnancy at all. Believe you me, I was going to the doctor to do a pap smear, nothing else. And then I get to the doctor, I'm like, yeah, I'm here to do this. And then they obviously test your urine first and stuff like that. So now I'm ready, I'm on the bed, takes my urine, and then she tests and she's like, girl, you're pregnant. I'm like, what? No, ma'am, I'm not pregnant. Please retest again. She's like, okay, well, I mean, these tests have never been incorrect, but I'm just going to do it just to make you feel better. I'm like, please, okay? She retests, and then it comes back positive. And then I'm like, ooh, okay. All right. And she's like, do you still want to continue? Do you still want to carry on? I'm like, ma'am, I don't want to carry on. I want to go home. Mind you, guys, I'm still I'm in fourth year. I'm doing my last year. I'm doing research and clinical work. So I found out in February, right? How can I be starting my fourth year like this? Like this is not something that I'm expecting. And I don't know why I was surprised. Like, why was I shocked? Why was I shocked? Why was I acting like someone that is not, engaging in sexual activities? Because the way that I acted, I was acting as if I didn't know what I was doing. So guys, when I tell you I'm in Cape Town CBD, taxi, Cape Town, Wynberg. And like everything was so heightened. Like I could hear so clearly and I couldn't see properly. Like my vision suddenly became very blurred. I couldn't see properly. I was crying. I couldn't even hold myself. And then there were these three girls. I get giving about Jehovah's Witness or what. And then they came to me, they're like, are you okay? Jesus loves you. I'm like, I started tearing up. Kasirita. Kalalagara, please guys, leave me alone. I'm sorry. And then I gave them my number because at that point I knew that I was gonna need Jesus. I knew that I was gonna need Jesus, guys. Hey? So hey, Katsamaya, hey. I go back to Reyes, right? And then I text the father of the child, which is my boyfriend. I'm like, man, you need to come see me after work. And then he's like, okay, I'll come. Shem, a very sweet boy, you know. He comes after work. Oh, before that, before he comes, before I even contact him, I go to Reyes, right? I put my bag there and then I go to the nearby pharmacy and then I get another pregnancy test. I get 3 pregnancy tests. Clear blue. Girl, I'm like, I need to make sure that this doctor and her tests are not lying to me, right? I get to Reyes, I test, and it was like in the afternoon, but still, I'm like, I'm gonna test. I just need to be sure. I test, it comes back positive. 3 of them positive. And then I tell my friend, I'm like, girl, I have something to tell you. And then she's like, what's up? I send her the pregnancy test. She's like, ooh, girl, you know. And then that's when I tell the dad of the child, obviously, that, okay, you know what, you need to come. He comes, and then we drive to the beach. We go to the beach, and then now I had like this little bag. It's like I don't know what to call it. And then I had put the pregnancy test in there. So we go, and then when we get to the beach, I open the bag and I show it to him. I show him the pregnancy tests, the 3 of them. And then he's like, well, I don't know. I don't know if I should be sad or if I should be excited. But I could see that he's excited. It's like, but you know, we need to take responsibility, baby. I'm like, yeah, of course we do. I mean, you know, we are blessed now and what. And they were like, okay, so we are parents now. You know, we are excited now. We are at the beach. We start talking about the future. 2 little delusional rats. Guys, love is such a dangerous thing because I don't know why we were so delusional. But anyways, I mean, I was in my early 20s. He was in his late 20s. So he was ready. You know, he was working. I was doing my final year. So we like thinking about those things. We're like, come on, you know, let's take responsibility and do this, you know. After that, like things are starting to be serious. I can hear him talking about the future, you know, and I'm like, now I'm stressing. I was literally stressing because I know that my family is expecting me to tell them, okay, guys, this is when my graduation is going to be. Not for me to be telling them that, guys, I'm having a little one. I'm having a degree, but I'm also having another degree, which is a human being, you know. So I was so stressed about it. I was so stressed. I told my supervisor, oh, she was so amazing. And she's like, no, we'll support you, you know, we'll support you, you're gonna be fine. But I'm telling you, like the first trimester, I didn't tell my family because I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home and then I will tell them face to face, right? But then the first trimester was, I remember I was doing my adult rotation, so I was working at an adult hospital, rehab hospital. I had to always have like mint kamumulomo because I would get nauseous, you know, and stuff like that, you know. But my boyfriend was there, you know, he was there, he was supportive and stuff. And by God's grace, God has blessed me with the most amazing friends. Like I remember telling one of my friends, she's actually the second person that I told. She was also my classmate. I told her and I'm like, girl, I'm having a baby. And then she's like, you know what? You're going to be fine. Like, you're going to be fine. God is going to be with you, you know. And it was such a scary thing. Like, it was such a scary experience because I was in Cape Town. My family is in Joburg. I'm in Cape Town by myself. You know, ke ile Cape Town because nna ke ilo bala. Ka ile Cape Town hore nna ke na, you know, like I you know, like that's the thing. You engage in sexual activities, and then you know what the result is gonna be. But somehow you think when you're an exception. So I don't know. But anyways, but I knew that God was with me, and yeah. So hey, I go through the pregnancy, we go to the doctor's check, you know, and stuff like that. And then at some point, I found out that I'm having a girl. I find out that I'm having a lady, you know. That was so exciting. And then, oh, yeah. So around April, one morning in April, my mom calls me. She calls me very early in the morning. And she knows that I don't like someone that calls me in the morning, because why are you giving me the anxiety? You know, I don't like if you're calling me in the morning, it means sorry, there's something wrong. No, that's what my brain thinks automatically. She calls me and she's like, man, I had a dream. I'm like, you had a dream? And she's like, yeah, I had a dream. Ke lorile. Ke re ko lorile eng? And she's like, I had a dream that you were with child. What? She's like, yes. I had a dream that you were with child. You were telling me in the dream that you are with child. And then I was like, girl, I'll call you later. That's literally what I said to her. I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll call you later. Because I was so shocked, you know. And then I tell my clinical partner, because I had already told her as well that, girl, you know what? I'm a pregnant girl, you know. And then, yeah, so she understood. And, you know, it's just, I feel like when you're pregnant, it just helps to have people, especially women, that can understand your situation and your position in a way. I don't know. But yeah, and then I called her during lunch, and I confirmed, because Mosiana, she already knew. I get to the guy, but yeah, she knew. So I confirmed what she said. I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's true. I am pregnant. And she's like, whew, okay. All right, baby girl, it's fine. We will support you, okay? Don't stress. And I was like, what? Is that you? Wait, now what a niggas got stress that you are saying you will support me. But I also think that she was saying that because she just knew that, you know, I'm an adult. As much as I was still in school and what, at some point I am gonna be a mom and stuff like that. And she knew that, come, you know, I can know about bye fail at she's like, no, it's okay. You got this. We got this. We're gonna be here for you, and you're gonna be okay. I'm like, yes, when I girl. I stress out. So hey, from there I started relaxing. I started feeling so relaxed, you know, like I started feeling or you went to that lady by yourself and you told her so that I wouldn't do all that hard work, all that emotional labor of disclosing to my parent or mama Emily. Or memtsadi kimile. Like the guys who like evidence of things saying man like I think like who delay hana if kit we happy. Kit what have you call well guys kimile happy because no lie or ke motho ke etsa dilo mang wa bathong. But then, yeah, so from there I was more relaxed, you know, going to doctor's visits as usual, and I became more prayerful because I was so vulnerable. No one tells you how vulnerable you're gonna be when you're pregnant. Emotionally, spiritually, physically, psychologically, like every mentally, bona, everything, you're gonna be so vulnerable. Like you feel, bona, if something happens when you're pregnant, if someone does you dirty when you're pregnant, you feel it times 10. You feel the emotions, like the emotions are real, you are carrying a human being. You feel everything. That's literally what was happening when I was pregnant. I felt everything, every emotion, So I prayed so much, and I was so intuitive. I felt like my spiritual sense nearly heightened as well, because I was more discerning. I was more prayerful, and I could hear God more. Like there was a point where I was stressing about my exam. I remember that day, and I was sitting, I was at rest, and I was sitting on my bed, and I was there crying. And then I heard, it's like there was a voice. There was a voice that it got its relay inside of me. Like it was a voice. I don't know if it's my heart or what, but it was somewhere here in my chest. And then it said to me, "Have I not carried you before?" And then after that, I had like a sense of relief. Like as I was crying, I heard, "Have I not carried you before?" And then it went quiet. And I was like, whoop, what was that? But then at the same time, that came with so much relief. I had so much confidence. It's like in Psalm 3, when David was running away from Absalom, and he's saying that he has confidence in God because God has rescued him before from things that has happened to him. Even now, he has confidence. Even if he's escaping now, he has so much confidence that God is gonna rescue him. That's how I started feeling. I'm like, oh man, why am I stressing? Why am I busy here crying, stressing my little angel schmook baby girl? I mustn't do that. Let me relax. Haibo, God is here with me. God has rescued me from far worse things. Pregnancy is nothing. Pregnancy is something that God is gonna help me with. So why am I stressing myself? So I started being relaxed. I never stopped praying. I prayed so much during my pregnancy. I prayed. And the power of prayer. God revealed my child's name to me. I remember there was like 2 names that I chose from. And because my faith in God increased so much during my pregnancy, I wanted to name my child Faith. I wanted to name her Faith because I know that no matter what I go through, uNkulunkulu uhlezi enami. Mudimu udula analena. No matter what I go through, God is always there with me, and God is here to stay. Right? Imagine such a beautiful thing. Oh, my daughter is definitely a gift. Anyways, so my child's name got revealed to me. And then as time goes, in June, so I was still carrying on with school, doing my clinical work, my research, and then in June, I remember this one morning I had to do an oral exam, excuse me. So I had an oral exam, right? Bafethu, oral exams not easy. I clearly have a laughing problem, but oral exam, Bafethu. So we call that thing an FQE, final qualifying exam. That exam determines if I'm gonna be a health professional or not. It's that deep, guys. It's that deep. So for some reason, I couldn't study. You know, when I about how I couldn't study. I tried studying. I couldn't focus. I couldn't like nothing was going in, and I was so stressed. I could see like that morning, you know what, I'm gonna fail this exam. Guess what? I had a panic attack. All of a sudden I couldn't breathe. I was shaking. I was crying. Like a lot was happening. Come on, I get diarrhea. I have this thing where when I'm not feeling okay, or when I'm stressed, I just get this diarrhea anxiety. I don't know where it's done. The psychologists know, whoever, doctors. And then I called my boyfriend. I'm like, because he was like staying 45 minutes away from where I'm from, or an hour if there's traffic. So I called him. I'm like, I can't do this. I'm not gonna go right. And he's like, you can do it, man. You can do it, babe. I'm like, no, I can't. Please come. Oh, guys, but I want money border with. Hi, buddy border chef. He came, like in less than an hour. He was there. And then I got to my room. Now, I have to go and open for him there because I stay at a residence. But then he comes in. I fetch him. When I go, I had stopped crying. Rest in my room. I start over with my crying. And at that point, I had told my supervisor that I am sick. I cannot do it, and I was sick. I had to go to the doctor. And then the doctor gave me a letter. And then I was a bit calm. After that, they gave me some thing to prescription for the diarrhea as well. And then I got a new date for my exam. And then, my boyfriend took me out. We went to Clay Cafe. We did some painting. Guys, Shem, that sweet boy, he was there for me, We went to Clay Cafe. We did some painting. And then after that, I went back to Rez. I don't remember if he slept over or what. I don't know. But then he had to leave, obviously. And then I managed to do my exam, and I failed that exam to a point where I didn't even qualify for a supplementary exam. That's how bad it was, But then I was like, it's all good. It's fine, It's okay. I got this. I'm gonna be okay. I took the failure with grace. One thing about me, now I'm gonna allow life to be life. Now I'm okay with failing because I know that's not where it ends up. I think that is one thing that I've learned about life, is to be okay with failing, to be okay with things not going my way. So when I got the call and they told me, oh no, you didn't make it, you have to repeat the module again next year, I'm like, that's all good. I'm gonna do that. If that's what I have to do, I'm gonna do it. But one thing I know is that I'm getting this degree, So yeah, and then after that, after June, I had meetings with my supervisor, and then they told me how am I gonna, oh no, so we had a new arrangement. So the arrangement was that I'm gonna do my seminars, because that's the course that I was doing. It's a lot of presentations and stuff like that. I'm gonna do it from home. At that time I wasn't even done with my research. So we're doing our research in a group. So we were not done. We were submitting the research in October, I think, and I was due in October. So in September the September the 1st, I got emails from our class that there is a class meeting and we had to go for the class meeting. I went, guys. I was so pregnant then. I don't know. It took me like 30 minutes. Ne? If you've been to UCT and you were at the health sciences faculty, you know, hore, as you go to Groteskia, like you go up, 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 up. It's uphill, right? It took me maybe 30 minutes to get there. It's like a 10-minute walk, but it took me maybe 45 minutes. I was walking slowly, like I took my time, and then I got there, and then I found that my classmates had threw me a baby shower. Oh my god, I was so happy, guys, and they bought me some gifts and like the card vouchers and stuff. It was so sweet, and one gave them my oversharing problem was, and I started telling them my whole pregnancy journey and everything, but it was so sweet. I am so grateful for these kind people in life. That's why I'm saying that God knows, like God will position people in your life based just the way that it's meant to be. Like the people that are in your life, if they're sent by God, it's meant to be like that. They have a purpose, because now God blessed me with amazing supervisors and amazing classmates, amazing friends that helped me and that stood by my side when I was going through the most fragile period of my life. Ne? So after the baby shower, hey, my boyfriend came and then I moved in with my boyfriend. The main reason why I moved in with him is because, as I said earlier, my family was in Joburg and he was the only person in Cape Town, and I had to continue with school. So I still had to be in Cape Town. So I couldn't stay in Res, obviously, because I'm a heavily pregnant student at this point. So I can't be, I'm a danger to the other students and to myself and to my little baby girl, right? So I had to be safe and away, But looking back, I feel like I shouldn't have done that. Like I shouldn't have moved in with my boyfriend. I feel like I just put so much pressure on him. I feel like that whole experience, because he had to move from being someone that stayed by himself, having his own routine, to now staying with the heavily pregnant girlfriend. He has to go to work. I'm there doing my work from home, but still I'm pregnant, and hormonate was the first months, hormonate, we are enjoying. Oh, I'm with my man, he comes back, he rubs my feet, he brings me cake, like the love and stuff like that. But realistically, when I look back now in hindsight, I just feel like I feel like that put so much pressure on him. But anyways, it happened, right? I continued with my studies. I did my seminars. And then here, the part that a lot of people have been waiting for, the birth. The birth came. So on the 7th of October, my labor, so I was in labor. Ooh. Okay, so the 7th of October, my labor started midnight. Literally, I had 12. That's when my labor started, and I got taken to the hospital. So we had already planned on what it is I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna do when the pains, the labor pains start, or labor starts. But at that point, I was with my sister-in-law, when it happened. And we had just finished praying because, like I said, we were prayer warriors. She was also pregnant, by the way. She was pregnant, but she was still a long way. I think she was early in her pregnancy. So yeah, after that, the part where when the labor started, there was like a gush of water that came out. Guys, perfect. Pregnancy. Like a gush of water. Like you know, when an elephant, when an elephant is peeing, hi rota, moroto fella. That's not even morota. He's working. Gush of water coming out, and I'm panicking. I'm like, whoo! I kidula mompetu kidula kama rahu and then she's like, don't touch, sissy, don't touch the water. I'm like, okay. Hi, pregnancy is the ghetto. And then I'm like, okay. I'm not touching. The water is still coming out. She's like, put on your shoes. I'm putting on my shoes. I'm like, am I not supposed to put something to cover this water from coming out? She's like, no. Don't touch. You're not supposed to touch. They say you're not supposed to touch. I'm like, okay. Metsi a sa tswa metsi a le ona a tswa vushu. And then we call the driver. He comes. That guy was so kind. God bless him. Yo modimo a mo bless. Wait, yo ntate, wherever you are, if you are seeing this ke nna ngwanyana o la tlatsitseng koloi ya hao di chila ka metsi a pregnancy. So with my sister-in-law, guys, at this point, because I more the Western Cape, because I in Cape Town, my family is in Joburg. My man is in Joburg with my family, So, the water is coming out. We are on our way to Stellenbosch Hospital. I get that man is assuring me, no, don't worry. Now I'm worried. I'm like, am I not making your car dirty? And it's like, no, don't worry. It's okay. I deal with this all the time. Why not just worry about yourself and the baby? I'm like, okay. We get to Stellenbosch Hospital here. They take my urine, busy testing my urine. He put me in this other side ward, and then the doctor comes, and then he, 2 centimeters dilated, and then he leaves. Guys, you know what, ne? This is a message to the doctors. You guys that help with labor, or learn to respect the woman that is sitting on the bed. You can't, when I get there, you start treating me like I'm an object or an animal. First of all, you don't even greet me. But you think you just have the right to be checking my vagina. Or, oh, no, 2 centimeter dilated. I don't even remember that man's face. That is so disgusting. Y'all need to be human. Please. What? Anyways, if you're a doctor, act better. That is a human, okay? Holistic management of a patient. You don't know what I went through. I am in a very already the fact that I'm in labor. I'm stressed. I'm stressed about my child, about myself, about other things that I'm going through. When you just hear and then you want to check how much, not even introducing yourself. That was not nice. But anyways, guys, fine. 2 centimeter dilated, and then I go to the ward where there's everyone. Hey, at that point, the pain was there, but it wasn't, nice bad, man. Like nice bad, But they given me tablets, and then there was this nurse. She was very nice. She was giving me tablets, saying, "Oh no, there's leukocytes in your urine." So I keep whatever she was saying. So she was giving me tablets, and then I get busy more like a vomit. Oh, guys. was vomiting. There's this water in labor. There's this one and again, guys. So then I was thinking, well, you know what? At some point, I'm gonna be like her. I'm gonna be screaming like her. But at that point, I was very calm, but I was in pain. I could feel the labor pains. That time, maybe 4, I think. I don't know. Could feel the labor pains. I'm vomiting. I'm a yellow, so I give you yellow bang. And then the nurse tells me, oh no, baby, we're gonna move you. We're gonna have to go to Pal Hospital. I'm like, okay, fine. And then I get to Pal Hospital. Oh, bafe to Pal Hospital. Abositandwa. You know, from the doctors to the nurses, very nice. Like, very, very nice. Let me tell you something funny, though, that happened. So, as I was being transported to PAL, the ambulance driver that had, or the paramedic here that had to take my bag, he's like, "Haibo wena, haibo sisi." Obviously, they're speaking in Xhosa. "Haibo sisi, why is your bag so heavy?" She's like, he's like, "Why is your bag so heavy?" You know what I had done? You know the surgical spirit that you have to get, ne? Nah, le motho wa ka. We got methylated spirit. You see the big one. So everything that we had was big, and then I like wrong stuff that we had gotten. You guys talking about being young, ne? So the spirit itself, the Vaseline, I had Vaseline, Ekana, everything, and the extra large. So my bag was so heavy. So yeah, that was bad. That was funny. I got to PAL and I still wasn't crying, but I could feel all I know. No, yeah, no, it was around 8 a.m. I don't know, so oh, it's bad. It's bad. It's gonna be bad now, you know. But I wasn't screaming. I think it's safe to say that I have a very high pain tolerance because I wasn't crying. I wasn't doing anything, but I was just like counting. There's this thing on YouTube that I watched, but how you count the contractions, ditoma, and then you start counting 1, 2, 3. So that's what I was doing. Each time I had contractions, I'd start counting, and then they'd stop. You know, and then they put that heart monitor, baby's heart, and then they put that contractions monitor as well. And then the doctor, like the nurse is like, okay, but you're having contractions. I think they were shocked, or they didn't understand why I wasn't reacting to the contractions that I was having, because they could see that I was having quite a lot and in a short space of time. But yeah, it was happening, and they were running tests, guys. Yo, banze bantlhaba like batla bantlhaba ba tseya madi ba nketsang what's again. Woo, like I guess na le mafoko. At that point the water was still coming out. I think it's the amniotic fluid that was coming out, and I was so thirsty. I had my water bottle. It was this big. It was also pink. So now we know what my favorite color is. I had a water bottle, and then I asked one of the nurses to please give me some water. And she's like, okay, give me some water. The part where I feel like I want to take, I want to do number 2. I'm like, I need to get off from the bed. I want to do number 2. And they're like, no, Nana, you can do number 2 there. That's where you're supposed to do number 2. I'm like, I can do number 2 here. No, I don't want to do number 2 here. I'm like, push that number 2 out. Don't worry. We will do the cleaning. There was a point where they did a scan also. So there were students, ne? I could see the students, they were learning, they were asking the doctor, so what is this? What is that, guys? So I was just like an experimental thing. So hey, they were scanning and checking the baby. They can see, oh, the baby's fine. She just needs to come out. The baby will only come out when she's ready. And then jiggy jiggy, I'm seeing paramedics. They're like, no, girl, you have to go to Tigerberg. Tigerberg for what? I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. They're like, nah, baby girl, you're not okay. You are not okay. Like your blood. I don't know, but if I was at risk of I didn't have blood platelets or blood clots or whatever. Guys, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but yeah, they were saying something that I'm at risk. My blood pressure was very, very high. I had preeclampsia. I didn't even know that I had that because I thought I was fine. My pregnancy was very smooth, but then last minute things were not great. And coming to check on me, there's this lady, may God bless her soul. She's my boyfriend's. She's a family of my boyfriend, a relative, I think. She kept and she says, Sisi, kwamele ube strong. I'm like, yeah. And I hadn't told anyone that I'm in labor. I didn't tell anyone, only the sister-in-law. And she had to go home because they're not pregnant. So at that point, no one knew. I'm like, these people are only gonna know after this child is here. Yeah, that's another thing about being a mother. You protect your child, right? Because hey, as Africans, right? What about to? So hey, I hear them say I have to go to Tigerberg. I know Tigerberg is like a tertiary hospital for complex cases. I am not a complex case. You know what I said? I'm like, Lord Jesus, intervene. I said that on the bed. Lord Jesus, intervene. I kid you not. My child started coming out. My body started automatically pushing. There's like this reflex that comes. Hopefully someone, I'm all of us saying, my body started doing that for me. And then I was like, Mudimu, guys. After saying that, my child came out and she was healthy. I pushed. Push. Come on. One more time. The paramedics, the devil is a liar. Kabita, master of all, Jesus. No. This is not gonna happen to me. You have to intervene now. This child is coming out now. Why one of the authority, ne? I practiced my authority on that bed. My child came out. She was healthy, and I was healthy. Well, I wasn't, but my BP was still high. My baby came out. And after that, guys, the best feeling ever. Like, after you see your child come out, it's like a mixture of gratitude, disbelief, trauma, or happy. You are at peace. Like, I cried tears of joy and I started smiling, and then I saw my little girl and I held onto her. Thank you, Jesus. My child is safe. My child is healthy. They're like, can we take her? I'm like, nope, not my child. I held onto her, and then the sister wiped her from me. They just wiped her because I was like, don't take my child. They wiped her, and yeah, and then I went to the other ward with of the mummies that have given birth. And then after that, I called my mom and I told her that I got a baby, and her name is Amani. She's like, what? Why didn't you tell anyone? I'm like, why should I? Why should I tell anyone? How is that gonna help me? This is between me and God right now. That situation, it was not gonna help me. Telling anyone was not gonna help me in any way, honestly speaking. There's nothing that any human being could have done. I just needed Jesus and he showed up for me. Amen. And let me tell you, he still shows up even today. Even after giving birth, he's still present for me. He still provides. He's still a dad, both to me and my daughter. And yeah, guys, after that, I had to finish with my research. By the grace of God, my group members, they were very understanding. My supervisor was very understanding. The girl that I was doing the discussion section. She was like so angelic, guys. I even bought her I bought her flowers after that, because I just felt like she didn't have to do what she did for me, but she did, and she was like so, like, God bless her. But yeah, so yeah, guys, this is a long video, but thank you if you stayed all the way to the end. It means that you love it here. Welcome home. I am gonna be consistent in posting videos, and I will see you in the next video.